Good morning and welcome to Serenity Farms, our home in the middle of the Mitten, Michigan's Lower Peninsula, where we raise sheep for their wool and fiber and for the table. We have a few horses, a few chickens, and one senior barn cat. My name is Carrie, otherwise known as My Wool Mitten on Ravelry and Instagram, and I'm not on Twitter, very little on Facebook, but those are the two places that you can find me. I just finished chores and I thought it's overcast and the light's pretty good, and so I might try see what happens if I sat down on a bucket near my sheep who have gone outside to graze and just record a few minutes here. I wonder if any of you have had a chance to watch the little trailer that I put up and wondered what you thought about it. I'd love to hear your feedback. Now, that wasn't anything fancy. That was one of those kind of preset programs that you can enter your pictures and fit your text and your, those kind of things. It's a little bit limited, but I thought it was a good way for me to practice starting and go from there. I'm hoping to start podcasting. Does the world need another podcast? Well, sure, but maybe not. There are so many good ones out there now, there's hardly time to watch them all. But I've been thinking for a while now about something a little bit different. We have some wonderful, amazing people who are championing single source fleeces and fibers and yarns, single breed yarns, farm yarns, and that's amazing. And I'm so grateful for that. I could never come close to doing the job that these folks are doing. There's some great knitting and crochet and spinning and weaving and gardening and YouTubes and podcasts out there that I can't begin to compare to those. But one thing that there isn't, at least not that I've found, maybe there is some, and if there is, you could tell me about them, is a podcast about yarn and fiber from the farm, from the flock, from the family that raises them. There used to be one when I first started watching YouTube videos. Knit Spin Farm, Joanna, had a podcast or put out video vlog, and I loved it. I really miss it since she's quit doing it. She's still on Instagram and Ravelry somewhat, but she doesn't do videos anymore. She didn't have any special equipment. A lot of times the video had a lot of wind noise. It always had a lot of farm noise. The light might fade in and out. She made no apology for it, and none was needed. But I just really enjoyed that for its reality. So Joanna, if you happen to see this, I do miss it. And you're an inspiration, along with so many others that I've enjoyed along the way. But I'm thinking of this more as a year in the life of a yarn, what it takes to raise the sheep, to raise their feed, to manage a flock, especially from the perspective of an aging but lifelong farmer and shepherdess. My husband and I both grew up on farms. We're lifelong farmers. In my case, I'm fourth generation. I think my husband is at least that as well. And so I think we bring something different to the table. Kind of starting in the backwards part of this because we started to downsize from what we were, but we still are going to try to focus on good wool, good yarn, and sheep as a way of life for people that can possibly manage it. Is that something you'd be interested in? I can't guarantee whether there will be one podcast or 12 or how often they'll be up, how long they'll be, along with not having the money or the desire to want to purchase fancy equipment. I also live in the country. We have very slow rural internet. A lot of you can relate to that. I have as best as I can. It costs more than I really can afford, but we do it. And so we'll see how that goes too. I can get up in the middle of the night to download these things or upload, whatever you want to call it. I thought maybe the sheep would come in when they heard my voice. They usually do. And sorry about the crazy hair, especially if the wind kicks up. But I just wanted to take a few minutes and do some timing there. I know I'm rambling and jumping all over the place, but just wanted to share my thoughts about this, and I wanted to try to edit this from scratch, and I want to know what you think. Is it something you would want to watch? Like I said, an aging shepherd, farmer. My husband has some serious health issues. Those of you who follow me for very long know that, and so it's a lot of things, and not in any way depressing. I'm not going to make this a downer, but I want it to be real, and I want it to be something for people to think about. Like I said, along with knitting and spinning and fibery podcasts that I watch and love, I also watch some gardening and some homesteading. I'm not into all the prepping and everything like that. Fine if you are. That's not what my interest is. But homesteading or people wanting to start out on the farm. And I see so many people that come at it with, and my apologies if this sounds offensive, I don't mean it to be, but with no grasp on reality. So maybe it would be helpful for someone to see some ideas of what it might take to do this, or something you might not have thought about. Anyway, that's what I'm thinking of. So let me know what you think. Either contact me on Instagram. Again, I'm Mitten on Instagram, or through Ravelry, My Mitten there. I do have a blog that kind of serves as a website, and I have the link to that here in the down bar. So I hope you have a great day. I'm glad that it's cooling off. One of the challenges that all farmers face, that we know that, is weather, and we've certainly had our share of it this year. Our barn desperately needs cleaning. The tractor's broke down. I can borrow a skid steer, but it's been rain almost constantly, at least some every day for the past 5 days and on and off before that. And so our barnyard and our compost pile are really a mess, and that makes it impossible to do. So the sheep are having to deal with it. And like I said, that's just something that as a farmer you have to deal with. And so I might turn around here and try to get a picture of what it looks like out there for you to see. So I really am going to sign off now, and I'll talk to you real soon. I'd love to hear from you. So this is a little bit of what I was talking about. Can you see the mud, the manure, what the sheep have to walk through? Now the good thing about this is the glorious pasture behind that you can see a little bit too, but that's the kind of stuff we're working with here. That's probably 18 inches deep, maybe a little bit more. I'll talk more about how we do that, how we compost, but just as a way to sign off for you to see what we're looking at out there. Talk to you soon. And my little helper.